was Gallinari. You know, when they downsized, it's been a problem for us. And, you know, we have different things we've been doing at times. It's worked. Tonight, obviously, it didn't. But we're going to have to be able to do that because we can't play, you know, like to me, to be a surprise team. You know, I think our center position has to be a strength. And so in order to do that, and, you know, I've got to figure out, we have to add to what we're doing. Like I said, sometimes it's worked. Tonight it didn't at all. You know, Brooklyn, it didn't at all. So that, you know, when we have to not play with Mark or not play with Nick, then obviously like our defense is no shot and we can't rebound, you know. So it's, this team was built in a way, you know, like when I look at how people viewed us in preseason, I don't agree with it at all. You know, like I still think we have a good team, but we need those two guys to be in and be a positive part of it. And we need guys back. Obviously tonight, I mean, you know, it's hard, you know, even in the third quarter, you know, we got that game down to a workable, you know, manageable, so we had a chance. And then, you know, we broke the lineup and, you know, it got away from us quickly. But the big thing is we've got to figure out a way that's more consistent that we can keep our size on the floor.
So just to follow up real quickly, in situations where you've got to take Nick and Mark off the floor because it's 5 out, you've got PJ over, is that just, it's filling one hole but calling more? Is that kind of what?
Yeah. I mean, and the other one is, you know, look, I mean, not to do this, but when Miles gets here, it'll be somewhat different. But if you even want to look at 2 years ago, when they, you know, those two guys on the floor offensively was good. Like we're good offensively now with PJ at 5, but the rebounding wasn't good then and the defense wasn't any good. And that's what's going to happen. The teams, you know, again, when teams say downsize at 5, it's a stopgap thing unless it's like Draymond. You know, the best teams that play 5 out have a center who is, you know, versatile enough to do that and can shoot threes and pass, you know, so that's a legitimate 5-out team, which for right now we don't have. But, you know, anyway, that's what we have to figure out. You know, and again, we did, you know, we were more aggressive with the coverages. Like we gambled in the third quarter. We got it to 7. You know, Gallinari banked in the 3. Then we gave up a bad foul. And then we just flipped the ball away and it ended up being a 3-point play. And all of a sudden it's 15 again, you know, so. We had a couple, you know, careless turnovers there too.
I know it's just a handful of games, but what I guess concerns you most about how you guys are playing so far?
Oh, the defense, you know, and to be honest with you, if you break it down game by game, it's what they did tonight. You know, we have struggled when teams have gone 5 out. You know. That's what hurt us in the Brooklyn game. Detroit was different. Detroit, they pounded us. You know, they just outworked us inside. But both, you know, obviously Indiana's 5 out all the time. And the stretches where Dallas was more 5 out, we struggled too. You know, so that's the biggest problem.
And then, as you mentioned, I guess a little bit of a Sam's question, how do you fix it, if at all possible, with what you have right now? Obviously, there's a couple of guys and stuff like that, but how do you fix it?
Well, we can do it. We just don't have a lot of room for error. I mean, listen, we just played 2 teams over the weekend. I would dare to say in Indiana and Dallas that could both well be top 5 offensive teams for the year. And, I mean, we won in Indiana, and shit, we could have won in Dallas. You know what I mean? Now, the defense wasn't great, but we were able to stay more organized, and it didn't, you know, well, the one other issue tonight was the turnovers. See, we were low turnover over the weekend, so even though we struggled at times to guard them, you know, we scored enough. I mean, our offense is, you know, well, tonight it won't be good because we had 22 turnovers, but tonight, again, we shot 52% from the floor. We shot 35 free throws. We're not shooting the 3 well yet. We will. But our game offensively, but again, the turnovers, that's the 3rd game we've had, you know, where turnovers were a big problem. Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah. And Mark's working hard too. I feel like for both of those guys, they're getting better and better every game that we play. But yeah, Melo, he played 36 tonight. I'd say that's about right, 34 to 35. The other night he played a lot because, frankly, if we would have taken him out the other night, we wouldn't have had a chance to win, So, but you could tell he's in rhythm. His pick and roll game is really improving. And he's also playing good defense. I mean, he's working hard at the defensive end.
You talked about his minutes. I know at the beginning of the game you talked about maybe limiting it. Is it the same thing, needing a chance to win?
Yeah, I mean, right now, just again, it's without Terry, it's hard. Those guys can't play 48 minutes, but like tonight, again, when we broke the lineup there in the third quarter, we were right there, and it went to 15, 16 quickly. So, we have a way to do it. I feel like that it can work. I mean, again, it worked over the weekend. But, to win an NBA game, you need good play from a lot of guys, you know what I mean? So it's just, like, again, I would say this, we had good energy to start. We had a really good practice yesterday. We had a solid shoot-around this morning. We started the game well. We didn't shoot well. I mean, we had, good shots, but we had 3 layups that got blocked in the first 7 minutes. I want to say we had 5, 6 open threes we didn't make. Or, we would have been playing from ahead, And, but again, what we have to get to is when that does happen, is that we're back, we're setting our defense, we're defending, like that. But, again, the bigger piece tonight was just we've got to figure out, when they downsize at 5, so that we can keep those guys in the game because, look, it's still the same thing is you've got to be able to play your 5 best players. Mark's one of our 5 best players, so tonight, in the second half for a while it worked, but we were super, super aggressive, which I don't think you could do that a lot. We've got to figure out some things here so that, we can do that.